Hey guys, welcome back to the Missing. This is Ariane. Wow, has it been a long time or what? It has. Excuse my messiness around me. Excuse the lighting. I lent my light because I wasn't filming for a while and I knew I wasn't going to with some things going on. I lent it to my son who likes to create movies and it is no longer usable. So please excuse the fuzziness. I'm hoping it doesn't record this fuzzy. It looks really fuzzy on my end. I'm also been having some volume issues. If you're experiencing that, I apologize. I'll get everything set up. But either way, welcome back to The Missing. If you're new, my name is Ariane. I created this channel in dedication to my uncle who went missing in 2001, and we have yet to find him. His story is also in some of the stories. His name is Mark Anthony Mestis. He disappeared from New Mexico. If you have any information on his whereabouts, please comment or email lovedonesmissing@gmail.com, and we would appreciate any information. So I will be attaching his picture. As always, take a look. If you've seen my uncle, please let us know. Anyway, let me just kind of fill you guys in. It's been so long since I've been here, and I'm so sorry, but it's been a really crazy world for us. I mean, we've been dealing with illness. If you have an older home, you understand that there's things that happen and problems that arise, and we've dealt with flooding and illness and work and school. It's been crazy. We've had a lot going on, and so that's why I haven't been on, you guys. I apologize. However, the good news is we are back. We are going to be recording more consistently. I'm really going to start pushing the channel. So if you know anybody, let them know. Have them subscribe, subscribe. The more the merrier. You definitely, we're trying to grow the channel because the more people that we have out there watching and looking for these missing people, the better. So we're going to be doing missing person videos once a week. I'm not sure. Today is Thursday, so I'm going to do one, but I don't know if it will be Thursday or Sunday that the missing person videos will be recorded. I may switch it and may do missing people on Sundays, and then we're going to add a little different element to the fire here. We are going to also try our hand at missing murder cases, so people who went missing and then ended up being found later, due to some type of situation, whether it was an individual murder case or serial killers, couples. We're going to kind of dive into a little bit of that just to kind of break up the monotony, do something fun. Give me your opinions. Definitely would love to know how you feel about that, and if there's any cases that you have that you'd like me to cover. Of course, as always, if you have any missing person cases, you can email lovedonesmissing@gmail.com. Be more than happy to cover the cases. I'm also starting to push the channel more on TikTok, so I'll also be posting missing person flyers on TikTok. If you're on there, be on the lookout. But anyway, that's what's kind of been going on in our world. Just a bunch of crazy. The kids are getting big. Husband's still dealing with the health issues. I'm still working to try to support everybody the best that I can and do the best that I can. I've been dealing with some health things, so I'll be having a surgery coming up here in a few months. So I don't know if during that time I may take a break or not. I'll let you guys know depending on how I feel and how the recovery goes. But anyway, wish me luck for that. If there's anything new you wish to tell me, as always, comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments or what's going on in the world, in your world, or if you need prayers for anything, I'll be more than happy to send those out as well. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Anything new with you guys? What do you guys think about the election times coming up? Or had the first Republican debate last night. Thought it was pretty good, interesting. I like to watch all debates. It doesn't matter which political party it is. I just like to watch them all. So if you guys like to too, let me know. Today's story is going to be about Christine Marie Eastin. Christine was born on January 4th, 1952. Christine was described as blonde, blue-eyed, about 5'7", 130 pounds, so very tall, thin. From what I gather from people who went to high school with her and knew her, she was just this complete ray of light. She was a good person, friendly, outgoing, did not dabble in drugs or alcohol from what I could find. No family issues that I could find. Now, Christine would go missing on January 18th of 1972. So this day started out like any other day for Christine. She was 6 months out of high school, newly graduated, excited to start the next chapter of her life. It was my understanding that Christine did have an ex-boyfriend at the time, and she was actually on this day had borrowed his car and was driving his car. The car was described as a 1969 blue Maverick. It was a very nice car. She had called up one of her friends that day. She had been saving up money for a new pair of boots. So she calls up one of her friends and she's like, hey, let's get to the store. I'm going to buy these boots. So her and her friend went shopping. From the friend's account, they went to Mervyn's. They purchased the boots, which Christine was very excited for. After purchasing the boots, she took her friend home and had mentioned to her friend that she was going to be washing the car before returning it to her ex-boyfriend later that night. Well, Christine had also stopped by her house, was my understanding, and had told her family the same thing. She was going to wash the car. She was going to take it to a car wash in the area, and she was going to be washing the car, and then after she washed the car, she would be returning it to her ex-boyfriend. Now, it was my understanding this all took place from what I could pull up around 9 p.m. at night. Now, there again, she had just graduated 6 months earlier, so we're talking summertime. It's still nice, maybe still light outside, or at least, nice enough that it was okay to wash a car at this time for her. And you have to keep in mind in this time frame, they didn't have cell phones, and people used pay phones, and they made plans, and so people were pretty prompt, as Christine was described to be. So she leaves her house and she heads to the car wash, the local car wash, and she was going to go and pick up her ex-boyfriend because she was going to return the car to him. And I don't know if they were going to hang out. From all accounts, apparently, what I get from her friends was that Christine was really cared about this guy. She really wanted to be with him, was wanting to get back together with him. And although they had remained friends and they had a good relationship, obviously he lent her his car, he did not feel the same. He didn't want to get back together. That was something that he really wasn't up for, and at the time wasn't ready to do, but still trusted her enough, cared for her enough. He lent her the car. Well, when Christine didn't show up to pick him up, he starts calling the family. He's like, well, she has my car. Where is she? What's going on? So the family's like, no, she told us she was going to wash the car. She was going to pick you up. We haven't seen her. We haven't heard from her. So now the family's worried. And they're going to start looking because why has she not picked him up? She was supposed to pick him up. So the first place they look is, of course, the car wash. And what do they find? They find the car. It parked, the way I read it was the car was parked to the back of the car wash at the end stall. The car was parked there. They said when they found the car, the next morning is when they found the car, and it was still damp from the car wash, which was a little odd, I guess. If it would have been, you would think in the summertime it probably would have dried, but for whatever reason, the car was still damp. All of her belongings were in the car. Her purse, the keys, everything were in the car. However, there was some pieces of paper that was kind of tussled around and some stuff left outside the car, which to some made it appear that there had been a struggle. Maybe somebody ran up on her, and she's 5'7", 130 pounds. She's a tiny person. She's not a big person. Probably could be very easily overpowered by somebody who would be, bigger and stronger than her, or multiple people. She was alone. She would have been an easy target. This is why I don't like my kids to go anywhere alone. My kids are fortunate enough they have siblings, so they can do the partner. Some people don't, and she felt comfortable enough in this area that I guess she just really didn't worry about it, and neither did her parents, because obviously she was an adult and they didn't have concern to say, hey, maybe take somebody with you. But in this case, she didn't. And so the idea was she must have been taken. She must have been an easy target. She must have been taken. She must have put up a fight. All her stuff was left there. There's just no way. However, through the course of the investigation, you would have 3 different opinions on what happened to Christine Marie Eastin. Some officers felt it was an absolute struggle and she fought and someone took her. There was a young officer who worked the case who felt that was not the case. To him, it seemed like the crime scene was more staged to make it look like there had been a struggle. Now, that officer has not said, or at least I couldn't find anywhere where that officer said he felt like maybe she disappeared on purpose, but he definitely felt like there was something there just didn't feel right about the crime scene. So maybe she was easily overpowered and they staged it to look like a abduction. Maybe she was taken by someone who knew her, so they tried to stage it to look like it was a stranger. I don't really know. The third part of the idea, or the third opinion on the case, I guess you could say, was that she had taken off. And this was definitely a case of she didn't want to be found, she took off, and that was it. Friends and family would say that that's not the case. There's no way that she would just take off like that. She was due to start a new job that she was really excited about the very next day. She had enrolled in classes and was excited to start college. So they really didn't feel that was the case. She just wouldn't have taken off. She was a very responsible person. Like I said earlier, she didn't hang with the wrong crowd. She didn't dabble in drugs or alcohol that would have altered her actions at the time. So they just felt like that was just not even the case at all. Now, some friends would come out and say that they had heard rumors that she was pregnant from this ex-boyfriend. Others said that they thought maybe she wasn't pregnant from the ex-boyfriend, but that it maybe had been something that was thrown out there to try to keep him. Either way, the ex-boyfriend was looked into and was quickly ruled out as a suspect. So he did not have anything to do with her disappearance. So I really, in my opinion, I think you can rule out the idea that she said she was pregnant to keep the boyfriend and then he got upset and did something. There's just no evidence to prove that he did anything to her at all. So there's just really no leads. I mean, there's nothing. They found the Maverick, they found her belongings, and she's never been seen again. That's it. January 18th, 1972 was the last time anybody saw Christine Marie Eastin. She was wearing her boots. She was said to be wearing a black or brown leather jacket, a red, white, and blue tunic, and I believe they said slacks is what she was last seen wearing. If you have any information on Christine's whereabouts, please reach out to the number in the flyer. I'll post the missing persons flyer as always. Reach out, let somebody know. If you don't want to reach out and you want us to pass the information on, I'm more than happy to do that. You can email any information anonymously to lovedonesmissing@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to pass that information out to you. If you've heard anything else about this case, or you personally know people involved in the case and have any details to contribute, please do so down in the comments. Any help is of course appreciated. And, as always, make sure you're being a crusader for the missing. There's so many people out there that are missing and they don't even get looked for. Maybe because they live a questionable lifestyle. Maybe because there was a argument in their family, whatever the case may be, they all deserve to be brought home. They all deserve to be laid to rest if that's the case, or at least come home so that they know that there's people who love them and miss them. And I think that's the big thing that bothers me with my uncle. It's one of the hardest things that I struggle with. I think I've talked about it before, is the not knowing. Not knowing, did something happen to him and was he alone? Not knowing, did he think about us and think that we weren't thinking about him? Did he really think that we've just never looked for him? Was he scared? Is he scared? We don't know, and that's the hardest part. You know, it breaks my heart to think that something could have happened to my uncle and he just never knew how truly loved he was or how truly missed he was. That hurts me. And whether he's still on this earth or he's passed, I want to bring him home. My family wants to bring him home. And I'm sure this is the same with Christine Marie Eastin. Her family wants to bring her home. Sadly, her mother would pass never knowing what happened to her daughter. How many people are out there that this happens? How many moms or dads, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, children, grandchildren lose somebody and never know what happened to them, and they pass away never knowing? It shouldn't happen. In this day and age with social media, with Apple tags and Google and just all these tracking devices, how do people just go missing? How do we just never find them again? I don't understand it. But it happens because the bad out there is bad, and they're resourceful, and that's the sad part. And as resourceful as they are in hiding what they've done, we need to be just as resourceful in finding out what they've done and bringing these people home. They deserve to come home. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you again on Sunday. I am going to start trying to post twice a week, so I hope to see you all then. Remember, the more the merrier. Tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe, like, and I will see you on Sunday. You guys have a blessed, amazing day.